And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live. We're on the road today. We're here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on this old rainy, misty, cool day out today. If you've been outside, you know that. We've got a softball game today coming up. District tournament. It's still on as of now. We've taken a lot of rain over the last 24 hours, so we'll see if the field's ready to go. If not, they'll do it tomorrow. But we are scheduled today, 5:30 first pitch. We'll go on air with the broadcast at 5:15, audio only. It will be the Cyclones and the Lady Vikings of Tennessee High will be the opposition. And if you win that one, you come right back and play Daniel Boone at 7:30 tonight for the regional qualifiers. So if you lose either one of the games, it's elimination games. It's the loser's bracket game. Crockett sitting in the catbird seat in softball for District 1 AAA. So we'll run that down for you. Andrew Smith will join us coming up here in just a few minutes. The Indian Trail baseball team's just in here. They're getting ready to head off to Saudi Daisy to play the sectional middle school baseball tournament representing our neck of the woods and our conference, of which Tia Duggar's involved in, and the other middle schools here in the area. By the way, big thank you to Chris Berry and all the great folks at Tia Duggar Middle School yesterday. We parked the show to stream the awards day, and it was really good. It was very impressive, all those young people getting what they got. You know, you hear the knock about our young people aren't doing anything, and they're not this or not that. They said it when we were growing up, and we did okay. And so we want to salute the middle schoolers yesterday at Tia Duggar and all of our middle schoolers across the region. They're doing good things. There's knuckleheads in their group, and there's knuckleheads in our group. There's knuckleheads in every group. There's knuckleheads in senior adults. There's knuckleheads in baby boomers, college kids. And there's eagles and there's crows, as my dad used to say. There's Danny Birchfield. Huh? Tim. Birchfield said, Taylor, I don't want you to lose your voice. Okay. He said, man, I appreciate you. I gave him some Fisherman's Friends last week. He was struggling. So he bought me 1, 2, 3, 4. He bought me, 6 boxes of Fisherman's Friend. Our dear friend Tim Birchfield, our owner here, owner-operator. I love it. He's a great guy. So I'm stocked up for a while. I got 6 boxes of Fisherman Friends. There you go. Thank you, Tim Birchfield. He's a good one. We're normally here yesterday. Of course, we did the awards day, so we're here today, Thursday. Joining us will be Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Also, Jeff Birchfield will be along talk NASCAR. They're going to the road course this week. Do you care? Nope, but I'll report it for you because you probably do. Watkins Glensville will go for this Sunday with the NASCAR NASCAR's Cup Series. I'm dating myself. So, anyway, that's what's going on. We have lots to talk about. NBA, the National Hockey League, Major League Baseball. How about it? Evan Carter tattooed one last night. Crushed that tater. Hammered off the front facing of Yankee Stadium. A 2-run shot for Evan Carter. Rangers win last night. That was awesome. So, Evan's one of us, folks, from Elizabethton, East Tennessee. He jacked a home run. Is that not cool? How do you think about that? Little old fella from Elizabethton, Tennessee, town of 14,000, rolls into Yankee Stadium and hammers a 2-run shot. Also facing the deck facing up on the upper deck of Yankee Stadium. Love it, love it, love it. Keep it up, Evan Carter. So Rangers have had been a little bit of stop mid-sentence. There's Coach Goulds right there. He's one of the good guys. So anyway, Evan Carter cranked one out last night. We'll tell you all about Major League Baseball. Braves did not crank one out. They got beat. The Reds got beat. But the Rangers won. It's the 3 teams we follow here on the show for obvious reasons. Atlanta and Cincinnati are regional teams. And the Rangers are our team because they've got Evan Carter playing center field from Elizabethton, Tennessee. All right, national anthem. Here we go. Let's get it cranked up and get it going. Get on this rainy overcast. It's cool, 54 degrees right now. So if we do play, and at this point we're on, it'll be a cool night. And that second game at 7:30 is going to be a really cool night. So the first game will be the Cyclones and Tennessee High. That winner will play Daniel Boone, the regional qualifier. The loser of that first game will be eliminated, having both teams lost one game. The winner will get Daniel Boone, and the winner of that game tonight in that second game between Boone and the winner of the Tennessee High Elizabethton game will play Crockett tomorrow night for the Outright District Tournament Championships. That's what's going on, and it's a busy time, and we'll run down to baseball. Baseball starts tomorrow. We'll tell you about that, the regional 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. Who's playing, who's going where. We got that for you. In fact, we'll lead off with that. Actually, wait until Andrew gets here and let him take it. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball coming up next. Evan Carter, Elizabethton, Texas Rangers center fielder, cranked out a home run at Yankee Stadium last night. 2-run shot. Love it. Love bragging on that kid. Been on this show numerous times. You would never know. He is a American League starting player in the American League Baseball. Never know it. He'd sit right here. He'd be right over in the corner. Nothing on says Texas Rangers, just being Evan Carter. That's what's so, for me, that's what's so refreshing about it. He is who he is, and he loves it, and we love doing it. We love bragging on him. Martina McBride singing, lady, the national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets like a light, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, yeah, and the home of the brave.
Tom Taylor Sports Show. Got a brand new product. Tell me what's going on.
We sure do. We have contactless Visa debit cards, and some of you all have been asking and wanting to know, when are you going to implement that? We are hitting the ground running. So right now you can get your free instant issue contactless debit cards at Northeast Community Credit Union, and that's just another form of payment. So you've got the mag strip on the back, you've got your contactless, invisible, what you want to call it, if you want to pay that way for tabless, or you've got your chip. So we're just staying up to date with all the things, and we listened to you. So you wanted that, and that's what we can provide. And we've implemented it with hard work, behind the scenes, a lot of teamwork, effort, and come get your contactless Visa debit card today.
Available now
Yes.
at all locations. Our locations are
They are in Rome Mountain. They are in Elizabethton, one in behind Elizabethton High School, our main office. And then we have one off of 19E in Elizabethton. We have one in Johnson City off of West Oakland Avenue.
social media. How do we find you?
You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, or bemycu.org.
And the magic main number is
423-547-1200.
brand new product from Northeast Community Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. And back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street on this Thursday. We're normally here on Wednesday. Here on this Thursday, let's give you the verse today. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Unashamedly, we do that. It's all about him. He is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He's coming to get us soon. Matthew 12:24-25 says, consider the ravens. They don't sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, and yet God feeds them. How much more valuable you are than birds. That's verse 24. Verse 25 says, who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? Well, if that's not true, we can sit and worry. Pastor Fowler said this several sermons back. He's right. Most of the time, things we worry about never come to fruition anyway. We worry about things that don't ever really happen. Well, what ifs? So, anyway, it's a great verse. It's the verse today. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. The man to be the King, our Savior, our Messiah. Emmanuel, as it says in the Christmas story, God with us. All right, Rangers last night. Nathan Eovaldi cooled off the Yankees for the second time in 8 days. Rangers got early home runs from Corey Seager and Evan Carter. 6-1 victory last night. Aaron Judge, his major league high 15th home run for the Yankees. This guy's picked right back up where he left off last year. They had won 5 straight and 15 out of 17 for the Yankees, but the Rangers throttled them last night in Yankee Stadium. And Eovaldi, season high 8 strikeouts, walked none in 8 innings. 101 pitches for Nathan Eovaldi, the starter for the Rangers. Out of 101, 72 were for strikes. That's bringing it. Evan Carter, 2-run shot off the facing of the second deck in right field. So, how you doing, buddy? You behave yourself? That's it. No guarantees, just trying to behave himself. Mackenzie Gore goes for Texas this afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Paul Blackburn, making his first start with the Yankees after 17 relief appearances, will be the starter for the Yankees today in Yankee Stadium afternoon game. Last night in Seattle, Brian Wu tied his season best with 9 strikeouts and 6 scoreless innings, shut down the Braves. Julio Rodriguez homered, and the Mariners beat Atlanta 3-1 to hand the Atlanta Braves their first series loss of the season. Atlanta had won 8 consecutive series, was 10-0-1 this season. The Bravos became just the 5th team in the wild card era since 1995. 5th team since 95 to go unbeaten in at least 11 straight series to open up a season. The Dodgers did it in 2020. They set the record with 13. Arizona did it in 2018. Hello, Wayne Hayes. How you doing, sir? Baltimore did it in 97, and Philadelphia did it in 1995. Braves travel day today, moving into what a great matchup. 2 best teams in baseball, cranking it. Tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium, the Braves, Chris Sale will oppose Emmett Sheehan. Saturday, you got Strider against Sasaki. Sunday, Bryce Elder against Robleski. That's a heck of a pitch. They won't see Ohtani, but they'll see him in the field. Texas, after today's game, will travel. They're traveling Monday. Texas will open up a series. Where are they going to next? I got it right here, so don't guess. Look. Okay, I will. Thank you. All right. Oh, they go back on the battle of the Cubs. It's another big matchup. The Rangers and the Cubs. So after tonight, Texas will fly back home, open up a weekend series with one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball, the Chicago Cubs. Anyway, Carter hit one off the second decking in right field. Love it. The man is set right here, as humble as they come. 2-run shot last night for Evan Carter. All right, our other regional team, the Reds, they've lost, 6, 7 in a row now? 6 in a row, yep. Michael Bush drove in the winning run with a bases-loaded walk in the 10th inning. Bases-loaded walk. Man, that'll just cut you like a knife if you're a manager or a team to get beat with a bases-loaded walk in the 10th inning. Cubs did it. Did it last night, 7-6. Beat Crow Armstrong. 2-run shot in the 9th inning and a comeback. 3rd consecutive walk-off win for the Cubs. They're red hot. Rangers will get them starting tomorrow night in Texas, as we said. Cubs also won their 14th straight home game for the longest win streak at Wrigley since 2008. What's that, 18 years? Matt McClain and Spencer Street homer for Cincinnati in their 6th consecutive loss for the Redlegs. Here's today's schedule. 12:35 start, Texas and the Yankees. We'll be able to give you partial score if we get off there today. Other day games, a bunch of Minnesota and Washington, Cleveland and Kansas City. Reds will be in Wrigley to battle the Cubbies at 2:20. Mets at Colorado and Pittsburgh at Arizona. Tonight under the lights, the Athletics in Philadelphia, Baltimore and Miami, Red Sox hosting Tampa Bay, and the Cardinals will be in San Diego. For the weekend, starting tomorrow, again, who's going to be where? Reds will be hosting the Astros starting tomorrow night in Cincinnati. The Rangers will be home to the Cubs. And the Braves, we told you, open up a hot series. Biggie. Big, as Barney told Andy. The Braves and the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium starting tomorrow night. Chris Sale against Emmett Sheehan tomorrow night to get it going at Dodger Stadium. Here's your standings in the American League East. Yankees a half game better than Tampa Bay. In the Central, you got Cleveland only a game better than Detroit. Chicago and the Royals are a game and a half out. In the West, Athletics lead Seattle by 1, and they lead the Rangers by 1. So in Texas right now, it's 17-19. But again, only out of first place in 1 game. In the National League, again, the best team in baseball, 26-12. The Atlanta Braves with an 8.5 game lead over Washington. And don't look now, here come the Phillies. Phillies are red hot. They won 8 out of 10. Philadelphia moving right up the leaderboard. They're now in second place. Still 8.5 out, but they've leapfrogged over Washington and Miami and the Mets, who are in the cellar. In the Central, the Cubs lead the Cardinals by 3.5. The Reds have dropped like a rock. They're down their last place now. But they're only 5 out, but still, they've not played well over the last 5 or 10 games. Then you've got the Dodgers. The Dodgers lead the Padres by half game. So tomorrow night, it's going to be a good one. Good weekend series. The Dodgers and the Braves tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. Speaking about tomorrow night, can you believe it? We are 15 Friday nights away from the start of high school football season. Getting ready to crank it up. Elizabeth and Cyclones are at them again. Cyclones and Science Hill coming up 15 Friday nights from tomorrow night. Spring football practice starts with the Cyclones on Monday. Some of the teams practicing now. Ran in a couple of kids last night here at Food City and Johnson City are bagging groceries that play football. Kids big as the side of a barn. Sawyer Necessary, he's a hoss. He says, "Hello, Mr. Taylor." I said, "Hello, who are you?" So I'm Sawyer Necessary. I play football for Science Hill. I remember you called our game. I said, "I did." Biggin. So they're going through spring practice, and they're very excited about that. We are, too. Let's take a look at baseball. The regional tournament starts in 4A. Everybody starts tomorrow. And so Science Hill will be, by virtue of defeating Dobbins Bennett, back-to-back. It was really DB had gotten them in the regular season. But Ryan Edwards and the Hilltoppers, again, to get into tournament time, as you well know, if you follow sports, anything is possible. Science Hill wins it. They'll be at home against William Blount. The Indians will travel to Jefferson County. These are tomorrow. And they're both at Jeff County, by the way. First game will be Jeff County and DB at 5 o'clock, and at 7:30, Science Hill and William Blount in 4A. In 3A baseball, tomorrow night at Pioneer Park in Greenville. It's their turn to host this year, District 2, and the Green Devils will do that. In the first game, they will first game will be Tennessee High and Granger, the Grizzlies and the Vikings. In the second game, look here, Tim brought me. I'm going to bust up one of these boxes. He gave me 6 boxes of Fisherman's Friend. I gave him some last week. That's what we live on, especially this time of year and all the talking we've been doing since August. So we have Fisherman's Friends in mass quantity. We have to bust a box here and get after some. Tennessee High and Granger tomorrow night at Pioneer Park in that first game. Game 2 will be Greenville and the Crockett Pioneers. So my offspring will be playing for DB this weekend. That is Shannon Morlock. Where have you been, man? I need to get you back on the show. We are going back, and we have Jeff Beverly on the show. We're at number, 48? 48 years been doing ball games. Morlock was in there with me several years. Did a great job as a sideline reporter. Some incredibly funny stories back in the day when I did Dobbins Bennett. He was my sideline reporter, and for South, too. Remember the night? We almost got in a fight. We went out and played in the state semis down in Columbia. They all run together. In football, Morlock was the sideline reporter and nearly got into a tussle with some of the, I guess it was the Columbia people. And so, anyway, great guy. Thank you for watching, sir. Appreciate you. We're on show number 2492, by the way. We got a big celebration coming up a week from Monday, show number 2500. You're talking about the Lord blessing. 2500th show coming up on the 18th. We're very excited about that. And 2A baseball. We would hope that you guys will come by and say hello. That's the whole point, to say thank you. On the 18th will be a Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. And 2A, tomorrow night in Pigeon Forge, they host this year. Unicoi County in Game 1. The Blue Devils are a team to be reckoned with. They'll play Eagleton. And the second game, Pigeon Forge, will take on West Green. That's the 2A regional. Then in the single A, we will take a look at University High. We saw them against the Cyclones this year. They can play. UH will be on the road at Washburn. Man, that's a long way to go to play a baseball game. University High and Cosby at Washburn. In Game 2 will be the Hampton Bulldogs taking on the host Washburn team. That's your baseball regionals starting tomorrow night. We've got softball tonight, weather permitting, audio only. The Lady Cyclones and the Lady Vikings will hit it at 5:15, first pitch at 5:30. And we will, at this point, we're on. It has been raining for the last 12, 14 hours. We needed the rain. We're in the drought mode here in the region, so I thank the Lord for giving us the rain. He knew exactly what we know as anything in our life. Knows exactly what we need when we need it. We need the rain. It wasn't a washout, just a steady rain. So, as you know, the infield is turf at Elizabeth, and outfield is grass. It's taking a lot of water. We'll see how it goes. We are, at this point, we're on. It's a double dip. Last night got washed out, so you'll play the 5:30 game that winter between the Cyclones and Tennessee. I'll turn around and play Daniel Boone for the regional qualifiers. We're doing a double dip tonight. And then that winter, when the smoke clears tonight, that winter we'll play Crockett tomorrow night for the outright district tournament championship. We're here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. The Jalapeno Ranch Club is the featured sandwich right now. Hello, Brenda Grindstaff. You know what Conway says. Hello, darling. So people ask me all the time, who's Brenda Grindstaff? You say, hello, darling, that's my buddy. That'd be Richard Van Huss's mama. It's RV's mama, our director of schools. She's a dandy. Her grandson is on the staff now at North Carolina State. He was a manager for Rick Barnes. When Coach Gainey left Knoxville and went to Raleigh to coach the North Carolina State Wolfpack, Bryce Van Huss went with him, which is quite an honor. So he's on the staff now, again, for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. So his daddy and mama are sporting red and black now these days because her son went with Coach Gainey, the new coach, as we said, at North Carolina State men's basketball. All right, quick break. Our sports writing friend Andrew Smith is here. We're going to talk about the Braves, the hottest team in baseball. They open up a series tomorrow night against the Dodgers in L.A. That's going to be big. Yep. Let's see, Strider, Chris Sale tomorrow night, Strider, and then Bryce Elder will be the three. Will be on the mound for Atlanta this weekend. There's Michael Hudson. Andre. What's up, Taylor? I love Hudson. Hudson's great. What's up, Taylor? So we'll take a break. We'll let him talk about NBA. We'll talk a little about, obviously, we've got some college football news. The American Football Coaches Association said we got some leverage here. We're going to let everybody know what we think should be going on with regards to scheduling. When do we start? They're trying to start even earlier. They're trying to cut back on number of off days between games. They're trying to, they're going to push these kids to the point they can't play, I think. They're already asking them to start in July and go until January. It's half the year playing football. You take, again, a conference like the SEC where it's a battle every single week. Very few cream puffs. And now you got a 9-game SEC schedule, as most of the other big conferences do. So there's really not too many breathers now, if you will. So anyway, we'll talk about that. The American Football Coaches Association says, here's what we're proposing. We will talk to him about our friend, and I'll say it tongue-in-cheek, down at Texas Tech trying to sue the NCAA to get back to playing ball after he got caught gambling on games. Can't do that. All right, we're going to take a break, get the fisherman's friend, and get ready to roll. He joins us next on show number 2492. We're on the road, as we are right here, again, at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on the Tom Daly Sports Show. Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, and at Double C Western Supply, everything mama in the store, jeans, hats, cowboy hats, ball caps, shoes, hey dudes, everything in the store for mom for Mother's Day, 20% off at Double C Western Supply. Double C Western Supply in Elizabeth, and your Cowboy store, and so much more. We have shoes and boots for guys and gals. We have kids' boots and shoes for the little people, too. Ball caps, Marriott Wrangler, a large selection of Huey. We have purses, billfolds, handbags. We carry a full line of Montana Silversmith jewelry. We have both Lane Frost and Huey cologne and perfumes. We even have several styles of rugs to choose from, and a large kids section full of boots and shoes and jeans and dresses and even stuffed animals. And jeans, and more jeans, both work and casual for guys and gals. Ariat and Wrangler in all sizes and styles. T-shirts for men, women, and kids. For cold weather, we have fleece tops and sweaters. And racks full of men's shirts, including the George Strait line from Wrangler. Short sleeve and long sleeve shirts for men and women. Vests and jackets for the cold days and nights for the guys and the ladies. We have a full line of tack and cowboy hats for cowboys and cowgirls, along with belts and a great selection of saddles. So you see, it is a cowboy store and more. Double C Western Supply, Railroad Street, Elizabethton. Find us on Facebook and at doublecwesternsupply.com.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken. Literally, the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A market salad is that the chicken is super juicy and the apples can be a little tangy, also a little sweet as well. So there's just a ton of different flavors. It's just so good.
At Carter County Bank, it's our job to help you focus on the happy moments and check off the things on your to-do list to make them happen. We're here along the way so you can pull off the happiest moments in life. Carter County Bank, in the business of happiness.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. He's here. Look at him, our buddy. Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, doing well.
Rainy day. Think we'll play tonight?
I hope so.
I
I'm
do
planning on
too.
being there, so we'll see. It is certainly the busy time of year for us.
Oh, yes.
You know, baseball, softball, soccer, track and field, everything trying to come to a head here in the month of May. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Pretty busy, but a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. That's what it's all about. I love it. Tournament time. Hello, Junior. Jake Harris is going to make $4 million. Yep. You're exactly right. We was getting ready to talk about this because he covers the Volunteers for the Johnson City Press Kingsport Times News. So, Mr. Harris coming over from Wake Forest for a cool $4 million. The the payroll for the Tennessee men's basketball team at this point falling somewhere between $15 and $18 million. So, they're throwing money. This may be Rick Barnes' swan song. Has to be getting close. He's in his 70s. But they're going to do everything they can to put a winning program, a national championship winning program in Knoxville. And they went and got this Juke Harris from Wake Forest. So what's your take on all this, sir?
Yeah, I mean, there earlier this spring, Rick Barnes had a media session. He had a quote that I think made the rounds of, we're taking production over retention right now. So if you look, most everyone they have brought in is somebody that is touted as an offensive threat. Juke Harris, really talented offensively. Even the first guy they got out of the portal, grad transfer out of Belmont, and Tyler Lundblade, prolific shooter for the Bruins. Up and down these additions just all are offensive minded, and I think the the mindset for Rick Barnes is, hey, I know I can coach defense. I can get these guys to guard. There's a certain ceiling of a guy offensively, and we need higher ceiling to get where we want to go on the offensive side of the ball.
There you go. So $15, $18 million to get the payroll where they want it to be in Knoxville for the men's basketball team. Does that create animosity? I mean, does Heupel get upset with that? Does Kim Caldwell get upset with that? Does baseball, does any of these other sports go, well, how come they're getting their share? Where's our share? Does that ever happen, do you think?
I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It's certainly possible, right? To especially if you're a comparable sport. Football is its league of its own.
Yeah.
I'll separate it. But if you're Josh Eland or if you're Kim Caldwell, what have you, there could be a little bit of that. You know, hey, where's our backing? But I think overall, all of the sports across campus have been financially supported pretty well. I don't think that anybody's really clamoring for, we only had, let's say, a $3 million payroll. I think they're all kind of fairly in their upper half, if not better, in terms of spending on rosters. So, I think it is possible. I haven't heard much of that, though.
Cyclones softball, 5:15 airtime, 5:30 first pitch. Cyclones and Tennessee High audio only. When you tune in tonight, you'll see this, what you're going to have. Because our friends at the TSSAA have said if you want to stream a video softball or baseball game in the postseason, it's $250 a game to turn the camera on. Highway robbery. Told them that. They didn't want to hear that down yonder. And then on top of that, football playoffs. How come you run the video camera all season long, but in the playoffs you turn it off? Very simple in football. TSSAA says to flip, all I do is flip the camera on. Turn the power on. I get nothing for it. We write them a check in football for the TSSAA. At this point, it may go up. At this point, it's $750 a game. Turn the camera on. To promote student athletes in the state of Tennessee. Now, what thrills my soul is that tonight will be no exception. We'll get folks saying they're listening. Appreciate it because they're grandparents from both teams. People from out of town can't get there. The weather's going to be iffy tonight. Some will probably stay home. We'll do audio only, of course. That's the way it's going to be. But that thrills me to know that parents, grandparents, people who normally can't go, particularly our senior folks, weather's, rainy night, cool. But anyway, that they get a chance to listen and watch their grandson, granddaughter, whomever, on the screen. But our friends in Lebanon say no. But there are people, I will say this, behind the scenes trying to change that in our state government. There was a talk at one point of the TSSAA coming up and under the Tennessee government. So anyway, enough of that. Get off that side, that rabbit trail. But anyway, we'll have it for you at 5:15, audio only. Cyclone softball against Tennessee High. So there you go. Now, let's stay with basketball for a second at Tennessee. The word's out since we were with each other last week. NCAA is going to expand the March Madness to 76 teams. I've got Few, Calipari, Dan Hurley, Tom Izzo. They're all against this. Said, nope, they're going to ruin a good thing because they're greedy. And I agree with them 120%. So thank you, Amy Whitson. You're a sweetheart. It's all about the kids. And that's the name of the game. It always has been, whether it's DB or Sullivan South or did Science Hill for a year. Now we're with the Cyclones in my 9th year. So it's all about the youngins. That's what it's about. And tonight will be girls, student athletes, hitting that big old yellow ball, chasing it. Softball. It's going to be great. I love calling softball. It's a lot of fun. They don't waste any time.
No.
They're in there.
You go to a baseball game, good. It usually in between innings, a few minutes. Got everybody, pitcher get re-warmed up. No, take like 2 pitches in softball. We're ready to go again. It's a little bit quicker.
I love it. Gives you time to get somewhere and get something to eat after the game. So, which is what I'm always looking for, feeding my belly. 76 teams going to the March Madness. What do you say about that, sir?
I'm not a fan, especially because it's not like we're creating these spots for mid-majors that had really good regular seasons didn't win their conference tournament. If that's what this was for, I still wouldn't love it, but I'd be much more for it than what I am now. No, we're creating more spots for the mid-power conference teams. Teams like Auburn and Oklahoma this past winter, they weren't tournament teams. They don't deserve to be tournament teams, but yet under this proposal that's getting ready to come through,
It's going to happen.
yeah, it's all but dotted I's and crossed T's at this point.
You got it?
Yeah, it's not for the ETSUs of the world. It's not for the even the Appalachian states of the world. Should they have a really good regular season in the Sun Belt? No.
It's for the Auburn who got knocked out.
It's for Auburn who went 500.
That's it.
And they didn't make it. Oh well, win games.
Yeah. So here's what it what it looks like to me. Instead of making all these teams raise their game up to the bar that's been set, we're going to drop the bar down to meet them. So we're doing 76 teams. I guarantee you that you'll have teams in this tournament that will not have winning records. Because you go 76 teams deep into college basketball. If they're not losing records, it's going to be 500 at best. But they don't care because it's all about this. Calipari says, and I quote, "I'm a big believer in the idea that if it's not broke, don't fix it." Applies to the NCAA tournament. If we're to expand, my hope is that at least half the spots are held by non-Power 4 teams. If they do that, we're making the decision for the right reason. As someone who has been both David and won some and Goliath and lost some, that's what makes this tournament so special. We can't afford to lose that special piece of the sport. Spot on. Let's see, who else do we have quotes from? Izzo says, "I understand it from both sides, head coach of Michigan State. I would rather it stay the same, but as you know, coaches weren't asked at all." There's a dig. "I like the excitement of where it is. Could it get better? I don't know. If I was leaning to why it would be good, it's because what's happening with these conferences. We have 18 in our league, the Big Ten. There's so many more teams. It's hard for everybody." Let's see what else is said. "I know we went from 64 to 68. It's like the NIL. You can get to $10 million, you still won't have enough. You have $20 million, it's not enough. If you go to 76 or 96, it's never going to be enough," and he's exactly right. He nailed it. So what's wrong with what we got? So the NIT, I would think, as we know it, is going to be gone. I can't imagine. I mean,
Yeah, it'll be hard for them to field a product.
a competitive product.
Considering that most of the time, hey, the first 4 teams out were still okay. I mean, I took a dig at Auburn because I didn't think they were good enough to make the NCAA tournament, and they weren't. But, hey, you guys, hats off to them, still went and competed in the NIT because you just missed the tournament and all of that. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that the NIT becomes a better product, and then you look on down the line, some of these other tournaments like the CBI or whatever are also going to be worse off for it, you would think as well. It ain't good.
It ain't good. No. So anyway, that's what's going on. It's going to happen. They're going to go from 68 with the play-ins to 76. Then you look at, for my money, and the coaches are saying, okay, kind of like they're getting ready to talk about here in football, getting ready to cross that bridge here in a second. Why have conference tournaments? Football, why you have conference championships? In basketball, why you having conference tournaments? Just do the regular season, seed them, and play. Because the conference tournaments, you call Nashville and ask them where they have the SEC tournament. It's big money. Hotels, restaurants, people come in there and stay, vacate, go to the different attractions in downtown Nashville, and they play it at the Bridgestone Arena, the SEC tournament. Big buckos. So I don't see that going away. But at some point, I mean, they're almost playing year-round now anyway, so are the high schools. But it's almost to a point where, I mean, can their bodies take the toll? I mean, you go in there every night and pound it. I always go back to the SEC, it's the best conference in sport, in college sports, but you pound it every night in basketball, these guys, and then you turn around and get into a 76-team postseason tournament. I don't know how many you have to win the state, to win the national tournament. 76 teams.
Let's see. Well, it depends if you're one of the. I think the way it's going to work is they're basically going to take that play-in round and just expand it. So if you are a team that is theoretically a national title contender, really nothing changes for you. You still got to win 6. But if you're one of those teams, it's got to be 7 in 3 weekends.
There you go. So, again, a lot of pounding. But, again, it's all about cut it any way you want to cut it. You know what I'm going to say because it's true. Right here. Now, here's what I like. Being not a prude, don't drink, non-drinker, but they said that how they're going to offset the cost of having more sites and more teams, they're going to tap into the alcohol-based companies. They're going to pick up the tab and be more of a sponsor for these tournaments to help offset the cost of the expense of having more sites, more teams involved, more officiating. I mean, it runs a gamut. What I think is interesting, they're expanding the women to 76, and they will tell you. In fact, I had the story last week. NCAA says we lose millions of dollars every year in the women's NCAA tournament because attendance is not there. The interest is okay. It's gotten better, but it's not where it is, obviously, on the men's program, the men's game. And yet they lose millions of dollars, and I'm thinking of them, why in the world, if you're just a business person, I know they got to, but why would you expand it if you're not making money what you got now?
I mean, it comes down to, equality and all that sort of thing. But
Right.
if you are looking from a pure numbers perspective, you're right. But ultimately, it does come down to
Equality. Sure.
and giving the women the same opportunity that the men have. So that's why you do it. But like I said, from a monetary, dollars and cents, it doesn't make sense.
Junior says it's hard for a team to win 7 in a row in regular season, much less a tournament. That's exactly right. Well put, sir. I'm a Sunday school teacher. He's really smarter than he looks, but he's good. I love him. So, but he's right. And when you get in the tournament, there ain't no cream puffs. You got to win 7 in a row. You're playing the best of the best. Anyway, we can hammer this all day long. Bottom line is they be doing it. It's going to happen. We're here live. We're going to talk about the American Football Coaches Association coming up here in a minute. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second. My boy Aaron, who still has not decided what he's going to do. I say it tongue-in-cheek because he ain't my boy. If I were the Steelers, I'd have let him know a long time ago this year. This is 2 years in a row he's held this team up. Messed him up in the draft to a point. So now he's talking about possibly leaving, going to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, he says, his agent says it's just a bunch of talk, but the coach is not as convincing for me. He knows the coaching staff in Arizona. The guy that he was buddies with in Green Bay, Nathaniel Hackett, is his best buddy, best friend in the world. He works. He's the new offensive coordinator for Arizona. Hello. So Andrew Smith's my best buddy. He takes a job somewhere and it's like, hey, Tom, yeah, why don't you come hang out with me? Okay. That's number 1 point. Number 2, Cardinals quarterback job to get rid of Kyler Murray. It's very much up in the air. They got 3 or 4 guys there. They've got some weapons, probably better offensive weapons than the Steelers do for him to throw to. And if he doesn't sign with the Steelers until the mandatory minicamp in June, then they get to put a price tag on him and he'll go up. He'll get a pay raise. It's crazy. It's a pay raise from $13 to $16 million if he plays the waiting game. So Steelers want an answer from Rodgers at the start of the OTAs starting on May 18th, which is week after next. What do you think? You think they'll give him a decision May 18th? I don't.
Well, it appears there is one close. I saw Ian Rappaport this morning from NFL Network. He reported that Rodgers is visiting the Steelers this weekend, and it appears as though there'll be a deal worked out by the end of this weekend in all likelihood that he'll be returning to Pittsburgh. Well, nothing in stone yet, but that appears to be where things are headed.
But he played there. I mean, why do you have to visit?
I think I don't understand how his contract works because there were some weird tweaks in it. Technically, he's a free agent, but he's still – the Steelers, I think, still kind of have his right, or at least have the right to match an offer.
They do.
So basically a restricted free agent. But from what I understand, yes, it doesn't look like Arizona's the spot. It looks like he'll be coming back to Pittsburgh.
But my point is, I have no respect for this guy. He's an incredible good quarterback. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. But would you go, Tom? If I gave you tickets to go watch Aaron, wouldn't cross the street from him the way he's done people. This is a guy laid in the dark for a week or so back in the day, trying to decide he's going to play football. Really, he's going to go visit the Steelers. It's real simple. Pick the phone up. Junior Campbell is the owner of the Steelers. I pick the phone up and I say one or two sentences. Yes, I'm coming. No, I'm not. If yes, I'm coming, let's draw up a contract. Let's get on with it. I'm ready to represent the Pittsburgh Steelers, the minicamp, the OTA, optional. See, OTA means
We've organized team activities, I believe.
that's it. Thank you. Organized team activity. I always don't say optional. Organized team activities. If you're really a team player, and for my money, he's not. He's an incredible talent, yeah. Hall of Famer, yeah. But they just lost a coach. The franchise is in somewhat disarray. They continue to underachieve in postseason play. I'm in there right now going, let's go. Let's roll up our sleeves. In contrast, I know I'm a Raiders guy, but in contrast, Mendoza is passed on several things, including Indiana's trip to the White House. When they always win, they go to the White House, all these different teams, to meet the press. He said, it's the same day we start OTAs with the Raiders. I want to be in camp with Kirk Cousins learning about football. Now, I'm a Raiders guy, but I'm just saying, all right, and Aaron Rodgers is a veteran. I'd be saying to Pittsburgh, we stunk it up last year. I underachieved. I'm ready to go. No, we're going to come visit this week. And, I mean, what do you got to visit? You played there last year. Man up, put your helmet on, let's go to work. He didn't ask me. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We are going to take a look at the American Football Coaches Association. Four things are going to push. Four proposed calendar changes. See what my man says about that after this and Big John's Closeouts, where they hammer high prices and Tom Taylor Sports.
After a long, hard day at work, all you want to do is relax at home, right? But how can you possibly relax when your home's not comfortable? If you want to feel more comfortable at home, give Advanced Heat Pump Systems a call today. With over 30 years of experience and the most innovative solutions, you can rest assured that Advanced Heat Pump Systems will make your home more comfortable. Give them a call today, 926-2665, or visit them online at advancedheatpump.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, dear friend Andrew Smith. Softball still on, 5:15 airtime. 5:30 first pitch, audio only, the Lady Cyclones and the Lady Vikings. Man, we saw Danny the other night, Delaney from Crockett, 16 strikeouts, you told me.
Yep, it was an impressive performance for her. She's had a fantastic start to the district tournament. Obviously, it's really helped lead Crockett to the championship game tomorrow. Yeah, she's just been fantastic in the circle. It's been fun to watch her throw, the way she can manipulate the ball, cut it in, cut it out, rise ball, drop ball. She's the real deal.
It's got movement up in the press box. You watch it coming on a wiggle. It's got some mojo to it. So you do the math. 7 times 3 is 21 outs in a softball game. She's 16 of the 21 she struck out. No disrespect to the Lady Cyclones. Is she the premier pitcher? Is she the number one in the area?
It's either her or Leela Bird. Those are your 1-2 in the area.
Right.
Both of them, you can throw Isabel Meeks from Sides Hill in there, the 1-2 of McConnelly Ailes from DB. But, yeah, Delaney would be right up there at the cream of the crop of the area for sure.
And Bird was a Cyclone at one point. So she could do it. And the young lady who went to Johnson, Pritchard, who was a pitcher a couple of years back for the Lady Cyclones, set a lot of records of strikeouts in the season. So we've been blessed to see a lot of good softball pitchers, and we'll see 2 more tonight. Lacey Gobble will go for the Lady Cyclones. I'm not sure who goes for Tennessee I in the circle, but we'll have it. Looks like it's on. It's overcast and cool and damp, but you bundle up and play. Never know what's going to be happening weather-wise in East Tennessee. And it's been 70s now. Tonight's going to be today in the 50s and low 60s, but it is what it is, right? The American Football Coaches Association 4 calendar changes. All right, number 1, what we just talked about, ending conference championship games. All this on the hinges of expanding the playoffs from 12 to either 16 or 24, which is going to happen. There again, we're back to the jingle. That's number 1. We'll get your take on that one. Reducing open weeks in the seasons from 2 to 1 open week. Preserving an exclusive window for the Army-Navy game in December, but allowing postseason games to be played on that same day. And then reducing the minimum number of days between games to no fewer than 6. Got to let these guys heal up, rest up, and recycle their bodies. Let's go to number 1, getting rid of the conference championship games. This is the American Football Coaches Association proposing this to the NCAA. What's your take on that?
I like conference championships. I think that they are a good thing. I also think that with the size of conferences now, it would be remarkably difficult to do the pre-90s era of just go by the standings and name your conference champion that way, because not everybody plays each other. You've got 16, 18 team conferences right now.
Yep.
And it's hard to have a balanced schedule at all. And, you'll have a 3-way tie for first at 7-2 atop the league. All right, we're going to give co-champs. All right, who gets our automatic bid to the playoffs then at that point?
Well put.
Tiebreaker? I don't know. So I still think we probably need a conference championship game to help settle a little bit of this, but I also do recognize that, hey, for a long time up until, like I said, maybe the 90s-ish is when we really started to see conference championships become more of a thing in football. But, I'd like to see them stick around personally.
Reducing open weeks in the season from 2 to 1. Only 1 open week in the season instead of 2. So I don't understand that helps the players. I would think.
I don't either. I mean, now granted, depending on how the calendar falls, some years it's 2, some years it's 1. Depending on how many weeks it is between Labor Day and Thanksgiving. But if you're going to do that, you have to pair it with the 4th recommendation there of you have to be able to have a certain amount of days between games.
Sure.
Absolutely, you have to do it. Have to do it. You can't go from a Saturday to a Thursday. You have to give them at least till Friday, if not outright Saturday. You got to give some extra time if you're not going to give a full-blown extra bye week. Jeff
Birchfield joins at the bottom of the hour, talking a little NASCAR. They're racing this week in a sleeper, a yawner for me is a road course. I think this is me. I think it's a detriment to NASCAR because most people I know, when you hear a road course, it's like 1 maybe, 2 maybe. I think Jeff says there's 6 or 7 on the schedule this year. Too many. I mean, the backbone of NASCAR, in my opinion, short track racing, the best track on the circuit, will be right up the road here, about 18 miles up the road, called BMS. And that's, to me, the template for the best racing on the sport. I like it better than the super speedways. That's just me. But I think the road courses, 1 or 2, okay. I think they're putting too much emphasis on road courses. Yes, you got to be able to win the mid race formats, not formats, but the tracks. You got to win the super speedways. You got to win the short tracks. Road course here and there, but I think it's 6 or 7 this year in the schedule. I don't have it in front of me, but it's more than I want to watch. And so they're at the Watkins Glen this weekend on the road course. We'll talk about that with him coming up here in a little while. All right, so this next proposal by the American Football Coaches Association, I mean, it's a moot point because President Trump signed an executive order protecting the Army-Navy game in December, making it to be the standalone game on that particular weekend. They say, yes, let's let it do that, but also allow other postseason games to be played on the same day. Well, pick a game. Give me one playoff game minus the national championship. Give me a playoff game we had this year. Somebody played somebody.
Let me see here. There was Alabama-Oklahoma,
All right.
first-round game.
So you got Alabama, Oklahoma the same day as Army, Navy. Now, look, I'm all about our military, but from a fan's interest, and if you're in the middle of the playoffs and you have Army, Navy versus Alabama, Oklahoma, guess where I would think the audience will skew towards? I'm thinking Alabama and Oklahoma. And so the president said we're going to leave that open. They say let's go ahead and leave it an exclusive window. It's not an exclusive window. That's wrong verbiage. It ain't exclusive. Exclusive's by itself. Standalone, it ain't the case. So the football coach is proposing to let playoff games be played on the same weekend as the Army-Navy game when the president said, no, we're not going to do that. So who wins that battle?
I would like to see the coaches win this one
Yeah.
because I would like to see Army-Navy have its standard 3 to 6:30 first Saturday in December. That window, that's your standalone window. The only thing going on in college football is Army-Navy. Then after that, at 7, 7:30, whatever, you can toss a playoff game on after that.
Good
have
point.
Army-Navy, did not mean to hit the mic, have Army-Navy be your lead-in to a playoff game. Or you can kind of go front end, back end. Have one before, have Army-Navy be its only window in the mid-afternoon, then night game after. If you're trying to end the regular season earlier, which is what the Coach Association is wanting to do, I would agree with them. If we don't want to go almost to February, we got to start the playoff a little bit earlier. So we can give Army-Navy its standalone window. I love the Army-Navy game. It's one of my favorite games of the year. All the pageantry, the pomp, the circumstance, old school football. But we got to compromise a little bit with it, and if we're trying to end the season earlier.
The other thing, I agree with you, 100%. I'm right there with you. But the other option would be, for me, put it on a Thursday night. Make it Army-Navy, make it a standalone game on a Thursday night. You have the complete national attention, national media, national crowd to watch it on an off night. Don't put it on Saturdays. Don't put it on Sunday competing with the NFL. Put it on a Thursday night. Most high schools play at that point of the season playing football or in basketball too on Tuesdays and Fridays. So put it on Thursday night. You have the whole kit and caboodle to yourself from a programming and marketing standpoint. Thursday night Army-Navy game. Make it every year. Build in. Boom. Thursday, whatever it is, first Thursday in December, whatever they decide, it's Army-Navy night. And then everybody can sit around and, pull up a chair, watch Army-Navy, and not have any competition. That's just Tom's thought. All right, last thing on this, we're going to move into NBA. Another factor is the lag time between postseason games. Oregon's Dan Lanning says they want to trim that down. National champion Indiana went 27 days between the Big Ten championship and the college football playoff quarterfinals, the Rose Bowl. Then 10 more days, they'll play Oregon in the semifinals. So too much lag time. I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I do too. You think about whether it's the end of the regular season to the first round or conference championships to the quarterfinals there with Indiana. Obviously, it didn't affect Indiana all that much, but still, you want to give the teams that earn the bye the opportunity to rest up, but there comes a point where it's too much, and I think 27 days
It's too much. Sure. Almost 3 weeks, isn't it?
No, that's almost 4 weeks.
Almost a month. Yep. Good math, Tom. 3 7s are 21. You got it. 4 7s are 28. So 1 day shy of being a month of playing every week and just drop out and don't play anything. And everybody gets rusty. They kind of get out of the rhythm. I get that. NBA, last night, Philadelphia. Knicks up 2-0 now. They beat them 108-102. My Spurs bounced back and blew out Minnesota. Beat them by 28. That series tied at 1. What you taking those two right now?
Yeah, obviously with the Sixers, obviously all the focus is on Joel Embiid. He missed Game 2 last night. They were able to kind of pick up things without him, though. You look at VJ Edgecombe. You look at Tyrese Maxey. I thought Dominic Barlow played some really good defensive minutes during that game last night. So, obviously you think you're a better team with Joel Embiid, but you weren't. There wasn't this massive follow-up without him. So I think that's intriguing as you head back to Philadelphia for Game 3 tomorrow night. And, it was a big-time bounce back for San Antonio last night. You look, they just put the ever-living clamps on Minnesota last night. They couldn't do anything. They shot it poorly. They turned it over a bunch. Heck, they even shot it poorly from the free throw line when they got there. It was just a dominant performance from the Spurs. You got more of what you typically expect from Victor Wembanyama on the offensive end. Obviously, he had 10 blocks in game one. But yeah, it was just pure domination from the Spurs.
Tonight, Cleveland, Detroit. Pistons lead that 1-0, and the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder leads that 1-0. What do you think about that one tonight? Cleveland and the Cavaliers in the Motor City.
I think the Cavs steal game 2 here. I think they go back to Cleveland, tied at a game apiece. I think that this is going to be a very fun series of the rest of the way. I think it goes 6 or 7 games. I can't say the same for the Lakers and Thunder. Poor LeBron cannot do it all at 41 years old, and there just doesn't appear to be much reinforcements coming. Thunder in 5. It's not going to be. I think tonight's going to be somewhat competitive for a while, and I think the depth of the Thunder will pull away late. I think the Lakers get one of the two back in LA, and they finish the series in Oklahoma City in 5.
Thunder in 5. All right. Who's going to win it all? Can my Spurs do it?
They can. I think that, to me, it's going to come down to San Antonio and Oklahoma City in the Western Conference. I don't believe in any of these Eastern Conference teams right now. Maybe the Knicks, but that's about it. I believed in the Celtics, then they blew a 3-1 lead. They're sitting with us on the couch. But yeah, I think it'll come down to either Oklahoma City or San Antonio. And if you look at how the regular season went, San Antonio kind of had Oklahoma City's number. Now, postseason's a different animal. I'm not comfortable. I don't know yet which way I'd go if that series does happen. But if that series happens, I think the Western Conference champion will go on to win the championship.
Baseball, your Braves. You want to gloat a little bit?
They lost their first series of the year yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
The world is ending. Oh, no. It was bound to happen at some point. I say it all in jest. But no, they're still, exciting. Ronald Acuna currently out with a hamstring. That they're shaking the lineup up a little bit. But, overall, really good start to the year. Exciting series this weekend with the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is going to be a prove your worth series. Obviously, the Dodgers they've still been good, but they've not been quite the Death Star everyone assumed they would be to start the year. But the amount of talent on that roster, you know what they've got. And you're throwing your presumably 3 best arms this weekend. Chris Sale, Spencer Strider, Bryce Elder. Giving yourself a shot at it. We'll see. It should be a fun weekend out in Chavez Ravine.
And they won't see Glass now. They won't see Ohtani. They won't see any of those guys. They'll see Sheehan tomorrow night. Then Sasaki on Saturday and Robleski on Sunday for the Dodgers. So be interesting. It'll be a playoff atmosphere. It'll be fun to watch starting tomorrow night out on the left coast, late night baseball. The Dodgers and the Braves, the best record in baseball. So see, this time last year he was on suicide watch. He was in there crying and whining. It's like, oh, this one's our...
Everything that could have went wrong is going wrong. Oh, no.
So what do you think about your team? Well, we lost the series. I'm thinking, let's go back a year ago.
It was not pretty.
No, it was not pretty. No, it was not pretty. But
like I said that to open in jest. You were bound to lose the series at some point. The Mariners have really good pitching, and they showed it all week.
So how much does Walt Weiss? I mean, is he the difference, or just they're playing better? I
think Walt is a little bit of it. The way he manages games, he really chases games a lot more than Brian Snitker did, and that's not a knock on Snit. That's just 2 different mentalities to managing a bullpen or anything like that. You'll see Walt Weiss pull a guy early. You'll see him go to his big arms, maybe only down a run, thinking, "Hey, if we can keep it at 1, we'll get the lead and we can win the ball game." I think that Walt manages things a little bit differently, and I do think that there's some of that. And ultimately, guys are just playing better. You look at a guy like Ozzy Albies. He did not have a good year last year. He has had a massive bounce back this year. He just had a real long hit streak get ended. I believe it was 17 games. Just got ended yesterday. I think that you look at it's kind of a mix of a lot of good things. Bryce Elder, or a little bit of a revelation in a good way. Just do not pitch him on any more than regular rest, because if he gets extra rest, he gets rusty. He's not as good. So which is a little. The numbers back it up. It's weird. Like you look at regular rest, he's been fantastic. An extra day of rest, a bit worse. 2 extra days of rest, it's been even worse. So, whatever you do, keep Bryce Hilder on normal schedule. And things will be okay with him.
See you tonight at the ballpark.
Yes, sir.
Go get you some lunch. We've worked him today a little longer than normal. That's good because he's a plethora of information. Our buddy Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Quick break. We'll be right back. His counterpart, Mr. Birchfield, joins us coming up here at the bottom of the hour in about 15, 20 minutes. We'll take a look next at the National Hockey League. And again, we'll take a look, as we said, we'll run down high school baseball regionals starting tomorrow, 4A, 3A, 2A, single A. Next on the Tom Dillon Sports Show, we're live here at Chick-fil-A on People Street in Johnson City. Tell us why. A lot of real estate companies out there. Why David Collins and Collins & Company?
Well, we service before and after the sale. I think that's a big thing. And follow through on phone calls. I think, and I have a lot of people just comment on how professional our website is, how professional our agents are, and what we do, and how we follow through with things. For instance, I'm not telling the name of a real estate company or anything like that. That's had a buyer that bought one of our houses through another agency, and she just called me. She said, my agent didn't show up at closing, didn't bring me any keys, we didn't do a final walkthrough. That's pretty sad. And, I just want to let folks know, you come here, you're going to get service, follow through. We're going to work through with you, follow you through the process, help you through the process. You don't have a lender. We've got lenders we recommend. Attorneys for closing we recommend. And you get full service here.
End of story. Full service. Phone number to call?
423-543-5741.
A 97% closing ratio, folks. Collins & Company, great sponsor of the Tom Dillon Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells, officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
And back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show again. Thanks, Ames. It's very sweet of you. I love Andrew Smith. Kid's only in his 20s. You would think he's in his 40s. He's covered a lot of sports. He's very knowledgeable of what he does. Comes across a very humble young man. He's a born-again believer, and so I like him. He's a good one. Birchfield will be here in a little while, and I like him too. If you get a chance, please circle the calendar. I'd love to have you come by on the 18th. We're going to be at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth and celebrating our show number 2500. Would love for Amy Whitson to come by for a few minutes, say hello. She's been watching this show for a long, long time. We're in our 11th season. Got asked yesterday, how long are you going to go? I said, if the Lord allows me to, my health stays good, and you're interested out there to keep watching it, we'll go to 3,000 shows. It's another couple of more years, I think. Then at that point, probably hand it off to somebody else or do something different. National Hockey League, but we're not going anywhere anytime soon unless the Lord takes me home. And then I won't care. I'll be walking the streets of glory at the foot of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Montreal, last night, Buffalo doubles them up 4-2. Sabres lead that best of 7-1-0. Anaheim and Vegas. Anaheim outskated Vegas 3-1. That series now tied a game apiece. Tonight on the ice, Carolina, the Hurricanes in Philadelphia against the Flyers. The Canes up 2-0. And then also tonight, no, that's it. It's the only one we got tonight. Carolina at Philadelphia. They drop the puck at 8 o'clock tonight on TNT. And that's, again, my buddy Brandon Young, the pastor at Harmony Free Will Baptist over in Gap Creek in Carter County. He's a big fan. She's even bigger, Dara, his wife. She paints her face. I mean, they call themselves, I love it, Caniacs. They're into it, hot and heavy. You watch hockey, Tom? I try to. I can't follow the puck. I guess I'm just an old country boy. At one point, a couple of years ago, they put a little red dot on the puck so you could follow it better because it's so quick. I didn't even do real good following the red dot. I do terrible trying to follow it now. But it's an exciting sport. It's an exciting time, Stanley Cup playoffs. NASCAR news, if you're a Ryan Blaney fan, he's not going anywhere. Team Penske announcing he's reaching a long-term contract extension for Blaney to stay with the Team Penske. And Menards been a fixture of Team Penske since 2016. 10 years they've been on the cars of Penske. They're going to stay there. It's a long-term contract. Blaney, the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. 18 wins, 13 poles across 10-plus seasons in NASCAR. Again, Ryan Blaney staying with Team Penske in a contract extension signing. So there you go. Now, there is a rift, and a growing one at that, between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, former teammates. Hamlin has come out more than once and said, Kyle Busch is driving junk. RCR is not doing what they need to put him in the best possible position to win. This guy's two-time champion. Of course, I'm a Kyle Busch guy. But I think Busch is taking this all wrong. I think Hamlin and Harvick's got into it now. He's chimed in on this too. These two guys, one's still going. Of course, Harvick's retired. But it appears, and I guess I've read everything's out there. From what I've read, how about that? It appears that Denny Hamlin was defending and taking up for Kyle Busch, although he didn't take it that way. He got really quick, really got snarky, if you will, got tart pretty quick. Harvick has said the same thing. He said RCR needs to put him, change crew chiefs. That sometimes can help you, sometimes it doesn't. But they did change crew chiefs last week. And they finished 20th. They started 6th, I believe it was, last week, and Busch finished 20th. So anyway, Hamlin, it's still going on. So now he and John Hunter Nemechek have gotten into it. And Kyle Busch's point's well taken. I've said this back when I was an announcer at the Speedway. Yeah, they had all these guys. And I'm going to ask Birch when he gets there. He's our NASCAR guy. And he's going to tell you yes. I think he used to say yes. They're promoting him too quick. They don't have enough experience under the belt. But these young guys get up there and they're not real sure. I mean, they're okay, but they don't have a lot of time behind the wheel. And they're causing wrecks and problems. And we'll let Birchfield, our NASCAR expert, talk about that in a minute when he gets here. So Busch's argument is Nemechek, his profanity-laced responses, which I'm not going to read or use. But he's very frustrated. It's over a 100-race drought since he's won a race. The guy's better than that. People say he's lost interest because his kid's racing now, and he's being more of a racing dad. I don't buy that for a minute. If that was the case, he'd get out of it, or he would pull back and just run a limited schedule. I don't buy that at all. I just think that RCR is a struggling company from a performance standpoint. I mean, he's a good guy, good people, but they're not. It's a performance-based business, and they ain't getting it done. And Austin Dillon's it's his grandson, Childress's grandson, so blood's thicker than water. He's going to take care of him as much as he can. But the diamond between the two drivers, no question, two-time champion Kyle Busch, they should be doing everything, and maybe they are. I'm not there, of course. But they should be putting everything they can behind this guy to get him propped up, get him turned around. Because I truly believe, now again, I'm a Kyle Busch guy, I'll say it right up front, but I really believe he's still got wins left in him. I still think he's got a championship left. He's getting a little long in the tooth, but he can still drive a car. He's not that old. This is so cute. You can't see it. There's a bunch of kids. I guess they're either here or they're getting ready to come in. Field trip. Yeah, they're all holding a rope. They look like they're first or second graders. Cute. I don't know if they're coming or going. I didn't see them in here. They were in here, you'd have known it to be loud. But anyway, so that's what's going on in NASCAR. We'll get Birchwood in here in a little bit, talk about it. We do have softball scheduled today, 5:15 airtime. 5:30 first pitch. Lady Cyclones and Tennessee Ice should be a dandy. From Elizabeth and I, again, as you know, the infield is turf, the outfield is grass. We've taken a lot of rain. We'll see if we can get it going. We've got to play a doubleheader. Last night got, of course, rained out. and understandably so, they made the right call. So here's your schedule for the 3A tournament. You have the Cyclones and Tennessee High playing that first game at 5:30. The winner moves on. The loser's season is over. It's an elimination game coming out of the loser's bracket. Both teams lost one. Double elimination. So this second loser tonight in that game will be out for the year. Then the winner will turn right around and play Daniel Boone, which was not the way it was originally set up. It was originally set up to do one last night, one tonight. Mother Nature stepped in and said, no, we're going to rain it out. But we need the rain. Now, everybody's going on about, well, we messed up our schedule, but we're in a drought mode. So says, not a severe one, but we are in a drought mode here in the National Weather Service told us here in East Tennessee. So we needed the rain. It was good rain. Thank you, Lord. Good soaking rain. Didn't wash us away, just good rain. And we needed it. And so as a result of that, we've got to play 2 tonight. And then the winner of that second game between Boone and either the Cyclones or Tennessee High will qualify for the regional next week in softball, and then they will come back tomorrow night and play Crockett and Madeline Delaney, who had 16 strikeouts the other night for the district tournament championship. That's what's going on in 3A. And I meant to get Andrew to tell us about the other softball, and we got wound up going a different direction, but that's okay. So you got 4A, 3A, 2A, and single A softball going on right now, too. It's all been held up because of the weather. So it is what it is. Now, baseball starts tomorrow, the regional. 4A this year is down at Jeff County. You've got in game 1 at 5 o'clock, you have host Jeff County hosting Dobbins Minute. And then the second game, Science Hill, the Hilltoppers play William Blunt. All that's at Jeff County in 4A. 3A starting tomorrow night at Pioneer Park in Greenville. Game number 1 will be Tennessee High and Granger. Game number 2 will be host Greenville and the Crockett Pioneers at Pioneer Park in Greenville, which is a really, really nice park. I've said this, and I'm going to preach it again. I hope these kids around here, namely the boys, don't take for granted and appreciate the facilities they get a chance to play baseball in. Cyclones, Northeast Community Credit Union Ballpark. You have Cardinal Park or the Knoxville TVA Credit Union Ballpark you can play games in. I've played games in. You have Pioneer Park in Greenville, which is an incredibly good facility. You take, what's the other one I'm thinking about? Oh, Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State last week, district tournament. So I hope, look, I came from West Virginia. It was a long time ago. But we used to have to go out after the game, pick up rocks, pick up pebbles off the infield, or before the game, and both. You hit a ground ball. I played first base. You hit a ground ball you thought was coming to you, or it bounce up, hit you in the mouth, or shoot over your shoulder, hit something on the field. It was rougher than a cob. Our track back in the day was cinders, which is okay, but I mean, now they got the turf. Some of them are still cinders. I don't think very many. Anyway, the point being to this, like softball tonight, they're going to play on a turfed infield and a grass outfield. They've really done a whole lot to jazz up the base of the softball field at Elizabethton High School. So I hope these kids appreciate the facilities in which they get to play. Case in point, 3A is playing down at Pioneer Park starting tomorrow night in baseball regional. 2A will go to Pigeon Forge. That's a haul. Unicoi County, and the first game will play Eagleton Academy. In game 2 tomorrow night, Pigeon Forge will take on West Green in the 2A baseball regional at Pigeon Forge. And then in single A, you've got University High and Crosby. You got to go to Washburn. Andrew Smith was just here, said, we'll be at Elizabeth U tonight, Tom. Tomorrow night we're going to Washburn. I said, pack your lunch, come through Chick-fil-A, get something to eat. That's a haul. But it is what it is. They have to come up here every other year. So this year we're going down there, we being District 1. So University High will play Cosby in game 1, game 2. The Hampton Bulldogs will take on Washburn. That's the regional baseball starting tomorrow night. Now, he's here. I'm going to work him like a good mule. We've worked Smith earlier. We got Birchfield going to join us here in a second. I want to know what's going on with Kyle Bush and Denny Hamlin, now Kevin Harvick and John Hunter Nemechek. I want to know why there's so many road courses races in NASCAR, because Jeff and I don't like that, and we're right. Then we're going to ask him about the college basketball March Madness. Is he okay going 76 teams? We have lots to talk about. He is here. He's smiling at us, that handsome booger. He's right there. Handsome booger. Where'd that come from? I don't know.
Andrew's taking that chicken like a Baptist preacher.
You what?
I say
Andrew's eating that chicken like a Baptist preacher? Hey, look at him. He's grinning like a fox in a hen house. All right, we'll take a break. He'll join us coming up next. Our buddy Jeff Birchfield, sports writer from Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Tomorrow we'll be at Food City on a Food City Friday. We'll kick off the weekend. Mother's Day weekend. Your one-stop shop, guarantee it, for anything you're going to need from Mama is your local Food City. Flowers, candies, cakes, Mylar balloons, Hallmark cards. It goes on and on the flowers. We'll showcase all that tomorrow. We'll be at Food City and Gray. Got guests coming tomorrow as well. Right now, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. And joining us next, as we said, will be our buddy Jeff Birchfield right after this from Farm Bureau, one of our great sponsors on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 2492. We're 8 away from 2,500. It's a big deal for Tom Taylor. Been at it for 11 years. I'm proud as a peacock. We've made it to 2,500 shows. Well, I haven't made it there yet. The Lord's grace and mercy, I'll be there to do it on the 18th on that Monday at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth. Tom Taylor Sports Show, graduation, Mother's Day. What do you got for us here from the Jewelers Bench?
We have lots of stuff, Tom. We've got Pandora, we have watches, we have E. Newton, pearls, diamonds, diamond earrings, you name it. We got it.
Yep. Birthstones.
Birthstones.
Year-round birthstones, of course. Pearls, you mentioned watches. So they run the gamut, graduation, guys and girls, and certainly for Mother's Day. Liberal layaway policy. Tell us about your layaway policy.
So put it in layaway, make a down payment, and then as long as you're making a monthly payment, we give you typically as long as you need.
Mm-hmm. So graduation, Mother's Day, right around the corner. Stop by here. Hours are open.
We're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and on Saturday, 9:30 to 4.
And how do we find you on social media?
Facebook and Instagram, and then website is jewelersbench10.com.
And the phone number is 423
542-5600.
There you go. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports. Tom Taylor Sports Show, your jewelry needs for Mother's Day and graduation right here at the Jewelers Bench in Elizabethton. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. See, what you do, you bring in people who know what they're talking about. I just kind of set them up. I'm the setup guy. So this is the guy right here, Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, Johnson City Press, our NASCAR beat writer. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
So probably help I turn the mic on. There you go. Now, he said he's doing well. So hello, Charles Huard, Huard. Hello, sir. George Gwynn, thank you, sir. Bill Birchfield, you know Bill?
Yeah, know him well.
Be your daddy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he still driving a truck?
No, he's retired. He's been retired a few years now.
Man, I appreciate truck drivers. What was the old saying? I used to work for McLean's Trucking back in college. I was a dock casual. Ran a two-wheeler all over the truck terminal. Made big money doing it when I was a marshal up home. But I had the utmost respect for truckers, guys and girls. The old saying was, if you've got it, a truck probably brought it. Let's see, if you got it, a truck brought it. It's true, isn't it?
That's true. I mean, you think about groceries and Home Depot and Lowe's and
everybody,
places like that. Walmart, wherever.
I see Food City trucks all the time, and the Barger, B-A-R-G-R. It's the gas tankers going into Food Cities all the time. So anyway, thank you, Mr. Birchfield, all the truckers out there. If we've got it, more than likely a truck brought it, and it's true. So when the Teamsters go on strike, it gets everybody's attention real quick.
It sure does.
Oh, yes. So we love our truckers. And there's a lot of lady truckers now, too, which is great. That's okay, too. All right, so where you at tonight, softball? Unicoi County?
Unicoi County, the Blue Devils going to be taking on South Green tonight for the 2A championship.
So how, you know Carolyn Birchfield?
I do know her well.
You know, it's like
Mother's Day.
It is. You better not forget Mama, and you won't.
No.
So when he comes on, it's like the Waltons. It's like Bill Birchfield. They come out of the woodwork to listen to the boy, their son. That's good, too.
That is good.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I love this guy. We go back. He's been with me. Gosh, he's been with me all 11 years. Been doing the show, really. So we will celebrate number 2,500 in a week or two. I want him there to the show. On the 18th, we'll do that at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. All right, so Unicoi County, they got the horses to go. Birds, she's pretty good, isn't she?
Well, I mean, if you were ranking, we don't do the rankings anymore, but if you do, I think that'd be our top-ranked team in the area. They're really, really good. You've seen them playing Layla Bird. She is, the dominant pitcher. And then them playing in 2A, I think they got a shot of winning it all. They won a game at the state tournament last year, and I think this year, they've got a shot of winning the whole thing.
Hope so. Bring it back. The Indian Trail team was in there a while ago getting something to eat. They're going down and play middle school baseball against Saudi Days, and I said, bring it home. He said, you're the Cyclone guy. I said, not when you're playing us against them. No. When our kids go play their kids, I'm cheering for our kids. Now, I bleed orange and black, absolutely, but when we're playing the other side of the state or somewhere else in the state, no, I'm pulling for our kids 100%. So you think Unicoi County can do it?
I think they can do it. I really do. I don't want to put the pressure on them, but I think they've got a team good enough to do it this year for sure.
Who else is left in the tournament?
Well,
or is it just down to 2?
Yeah, like it down to those 2 and 2A, yeah.
2A,
sure.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
And then Unicoi County Baseball won the district over the weekend, so they've got a good team as well.
Ran into Colby Jones, one of the local restaurants. Nicest kid in the world. You can say he's going to Walter State to play baseball.
Yeah, and he was our high school football player of the year as well. He's a great quarterback for them.
And a great kid, and a great family. The Joneses from Unicoi County. So, again, our softball is on. It's been raining, and right now it's on. I haven't heard anything to the contrary. 5:15 airtime, first pitch 5:30. You'll see this when you tune in. That's what you'll get, audio only. You know the story, no sense going back on that, about the TSSAA charging to run a camera to promote our student athletes in Tennessee. No go. But I'm up here in East Tennessee. They don't care what I think. So there you go. All right, let's get into NASCAR for a second. My man Kyle Busch is getting suggestions from Denny Hamlin. He's getting suggestions from Kevin Harvick. Had a little scrape up with John Hunter Nemechek last week down in Texas. So what's the story on Kyle Busch? What's this all about?
Well, Kyle Busch has had tremendous trouble with the new car, the next gen. It's a different driving style it takes for it than the old car. And Denny Hamlin was actually responded to Kyle's comments from a week or two earlier where he said, well, I'll gladly switch cars with him if he wants to, because Kyle Busch obviously raced Ford, Joe Gibbs Racing for several years, and their equipment's much better than Richard Childress Racing's equipment at this point. But Denny countered by saying if he was in that number 8 car, he would have actually done better than Kyle at Texas, because he's saying, the way they side draft and just different things with the new car, the different lines you have to run, that he feels he would have done better than Kyle with that. It's sort of along those lines, Kyle and John Hunter Nemechek got into each other a little bit, and then that ended up with a big, deal there at the end of the post race there. So.
You're talking about on the track they got into each other?
Yeah, got on the track to each other.
Now, Denny and Kyle are just going back and forth verbally, but
yeah, verbally. And so was Kevin Harvick. He was talking about how Kyle driving style for all these years, has been adapted to the other style of race car, And this is not a new thing in NASCAR. If you remember when they switched to the car of tomorrow, Jeff Gordon had trouble with that,
See, I think, and I'm the Kyle Busch guy, I'll tell you right up front, that everybody watches the show. I mean, as I've said, and I was telling athletic director of Tennessee, I just went to Blaine, just talking to him the other night about NASCAR. He said, you used to be the track announcer. I said, yeah, I did. I remember hearing you. Okay, all right. So he said, who was the nicest guy up there at the track? He didn't believe it. I said, Kyle Busch. The nicest guy. Anytime I asked him, I never asked him anything. It was always yes or no, sir. That's back when he was driving with Gibbs. He was the nicest driver up there as far as just standing around shooting the bull. Of course, that was, several years back when he was Joe Gibbs. But so I'm a Kyle Busch guy, so I'll tell you right up front. But it looks like I'm going to defend Hamlin. It looks like these guys, from what I've read, what I can tell, sitting here in East Tennessee, they paid him a compliment to a point. Hamlin said, he's a better driver, and RCR is not giving anything good to drive. And so I thought he was trying to take up for Kyle Busch, and I thought he was paying him a compliment. But I think Busch took it exact opposite. It looked like felt like he got offended. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the first comments Denny had, he was basically saying Kyle's a better driver than the equipment he's in right now. And then even in this last thing where Denny was saying he thought he would have done better in the 8 car at Texas than Kyle. That being said, he said, well, Kyle's got a lot more driving talent than I do, and also, I mean, he was still paying him a compliment and all. But I will give Denny credit. He's been very adaptable no matter which type of car NASCAR's come up with through the years. I mean, he's been consistent. I mean, and if, things keep going like they are, he's probably going to surpass Kyle on the all-time win list.
We're here live again at Chick-fil-A in Johnson. Hello, little JoJo. Thank you for watching. JoJo Smith from our church. She watches every day or most days. Thank you. So you use the term, for those out there who don't know a lot about NASCAR, that he is not in good equipment. What exactly, when you say equipment, that's a NASCAR term, what's that mean?
Well, it's sort of compare it to other sports. You'd have like Archie Manning's a good example. Was a great quarterback, but he played for the New Orleans Saints most of his career, which was not a very good team. And so he, don't have the, credentials of a Joe Montana or a Terry Bradshaw. And I think most people would have probably rated Archie Manning a better quarterback than Terry Bradshaw, back in the day, if they were on equal teams. And it's sort of the same way in NASCAR, and you've obviously got the mechanical element with the cars there, where the, cars you have, sometimes are really good and other times are not. I think Dale Earnhardt's one sort of famously talked about you got to have a good horse to ride, It's comparing it to horse racing, to win a race there for sure.
So how do you improve in the middle of we're not in the middle yet, but we're third of the way into the season. How do you improve your equipment, or can you?
Well, I mean, the teams are constantly improving. I'm sure Richard Childress Racing's cars are better than what they were at the beginning of the year. The problem is Hendrick Motorsports and Team Penske and Joe Gibbs Racing, all these super teams, they have so many employees, and they're constantly finding stuff too, and their cars are constantly improving.
Donald, you see on the screen Jeff Birchfield, NASCAR beat writer with the Johnson City Press. We'll get into some other sports in a minute. So I said this, I don't think I misspoke. You and I are not big fans of road course. Some, but not as many as they have on the circuit. This week they're going to Watkins Glen, one of the road courses. How many's in the schedule this year?
Gosh,
7 or 8?
Well, not that many this year. They're down to 5. I'm like you, though. About 3 is enough for me.
Shit.
And, used to, traditionally, you only had the 2. You had Sonoma and Watkins Glen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the big storyline this weekend is, could anyone beat SVG? Tyler Reddick did outrun him down Circuit of the Americas earlier this season, but, other than that, he had like a 5-race winning streak on the road courses.
Shane Van Gisbergen we're speaking of. So that's the guy that kind of runs the road courses and does it very, very well. So, but they have backed off on the number of road courses, but again, 3 is too many for me. I don't understand, this is me and you talking, the template for me for NASCAR is right up the road about 20 miles, Bristol Motor Speedway. Why would you not showcase as much as you can short track racing? That's the backbone of the sport. They brought Wilkesboro back. Did they bring Rockingham back? They didn't.
Rockingham is back as far as the Truck Series and the O'Reilly Series, but not as far as the Cup Series.
Am I right? I mean, as far as fan popularity, and the super speedways are okay. But you and I talked about this last week. If you've not been in one of their races, like every 60 seconds, it's not like Bristol where everything's right there. You see everything. Am I right on the big tracks?
Yeah,
wherever you're
it's
sitting?
like 10 seconds, and you wait another 40 seconds till the cars come back through, and you're basically watching it on the big screen, in front of you. Went to Talladega last year, a lot of people absolutely love Talladega, but it wasn't my favorite experience.
So if I'm going to sit up in the stands with Jeff, eat chicken, and drink a sweet tea, and watch it every 40 seconds come around and go, woo, what are you doing, pass the chick? I'm going to do it at home. I'm not paying the ticket. I'm not going to fool with the crowd, the traffic. That's me. If that's the best, done good. But at Bristol, everything is right there in front of us, So for me, Martinsville's the same way, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Bristol. Martinsville's probably your 2 best tracks. Well, North Wilkesboro's the same way. It's a 5/8 mile. I've not been to Richmond there. My brother says it's a great track as well. Even though it's a mile and a half, Charlotte's a great track. I mean, you can still see everything well at Charlotte and Atlanta. I've been there, you can see everything. Daytona, even though it's as big as Talladega, it's a little better viewing at Daytona than you have at Talladega for sure.
So Bristol is the track, folks. And now, you getting paid for saying that? Absolutely not. I don't work there anymore. So, but it is the track. If you want to go watch a race, it is the track. Of course, night race coming up in September, Bass Pro Shop night race, but it's the race because everything's there. And, I mean, all the action's in front of it. You better not blink because something can go crazy like that. So, for my money, that's the way to go is Bristol Motor Speedway. And they're coming up in September, right? They'll be part of the playoff this year, too. Which
some other big news there at NASCAR, the guy who sat on the pole for the Food City 500, Ryan Blaney, Ford and Team Penske signed him to a long-term contract yesterday.
Yep. They did. We had that earlier in the show, and so did Menards. Menards come back to be his primary sponsor again. Been on the car for 10 years. Then we had on Monday's show that Dollar Tree's come on board in a big-time way with Jimmy Johnson, and they're going to get really heavily involved in all the Speedway motorsports tracks, including Bristol. So you're going to see a lot of Dollar Tree going in here on out for several years because they have stepped into NASCAR. So, a couple of years ago you had all these big sponsors leaving the sport. Now you're seeing more and more coming back in, Dollar Tree being one of those. Menards re-upping. So is that a good sign for NASCAR because these sponsors are coming, either staying on or new ones coming on board? Is that good or a good sign?
Yeah, I think it's a great sign for NASCAR. I think the sport's popularity is bouncing back, some. The problem, some of the TV packages and some of that's harder for some of the older folks to watch for sure. The struggle with that. And, I think it is better when you do have a consistent sponsor throughout the year, but it costs so much to run those race teams anymore. You don't see that. Back in the day you had DuPont on the 24 car, Goodwrench on the 3 car, Bill Elliott with the Coors number 9. You had like just different cars like that, that you could identify, the color of the car and stuff was consistent week after week.
So you feel like NASCAR it's coming back little by little? I
think it is little by little, and I think one thing's helping it is short track racing in general at the local levels starting to do a little better. Kingsport Speedway races tomorrow night. I was up at Lonesome Pine last Saturday night. Lonesome Pine and Newport were both racing the same night, and yet both had good car counts. You had, I think, 60 cars at Newport last week and 74 up at Lonesome Pine.
Kyle Busch says some of the drivers in the Cup Series shouldn't be there. They're too inexperienced. We moved them up too quick. We talked about this a couple of years ago. You and I talked about here on the show that some of these guys have not had the wheel time they should have. They moved them up too soon. You still feel that's the case?
Well, yeah, I think one of the big controversies actually been in the O'Reilly series with Cletus McFarland. Of course, now he did finish second at Talladega in an ARCA race, but Talladega is sort of its own animal and stuff, but he's been struggling. I think he's going to go back and run some Cars Tours races, which will help him, get some, good, valuable experience.
So would you agree some of the guys in the Cup Series probably there too soon? They moved them up too quick?
Yeah, that happens from time to time, because, a lot of these companies are always looking for the next big thing. And, ever since Jeff Gordon in the 90s, made such a splash, everybody wants that, great young talent, coming in.
So it's 2026. Put you to the test. 2029, let's say 3 years from now. Who will be name or names in NASCAR? Carson Hocevar, who do you think is going to be the big star names?
I think Carson Hocevar's got a great following. If he can follow it up with performance, definitely. Connor Zilic is really struggling right now, but that guy's got a ton of talent. I think if Trackhouse can provide him the cars, he'll definitely be a big star. Corey Heim, is the Toyota's main guy, and I think Corey's shown over and over, how he runs up front, that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with once he moves up.
We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We'll switch gears. We'll go from NASCAR to college sports, get his take. He's been following the Bucks. Baseball, and of course, spring football just finished up. We'll take a look at that. I'll ask him about these new proposals from the American Football Coaches Association. They want to change and tweak college football. And then we'll ask him about 76 teams in March Madness. Too many? We'll see what he says next. After this, from Lingerfeld Drugs on the Tom Daly Sports. We're talking to our buddy Dr. Eric Carter from Lingerfeld Drug Center, one of our proud sponsors of the show and Cyclone Sports A lot of pharmacies out there, a lot of drugstores out there. Why, in your humble opinion, should we come and trade at Lingerfield Drug Center?
Yes, I think our customers are our family. We treat people how I'd want my family to be treated. And that's, we can come in after hours for you if you need, or deliver to you. I think we just go the extra mile. A lot of times at a big chain or something, if you need a refill and it's out of refills, it's too bad. But we'll call the doctor, send them messages, and keep bothering them until they get them sent in to us. So we want to do everything we can to make sure our customers have their medicine and are happy.
Customer service, folks. Again, Lingerfield Drug Center down here beside Carter County Bank in downtown Elizabethton. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors. Christmas Club savings account for next year. Tell me about it.
Yes, let's talk about it, because now you're going to have 12 months to do this. What better time than right now to open your Christmas Club savings? There's no cost on this. This is just something that we can help you transfer automatic funds, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, out of your check. So that way you won't even have to worry about it. And each time that you have that transferred, either you can do it yourself or deposit into this account, or we can have automatic draft set up. That's just convenient for you. And like I said, it's just another sub account to your savings and checking at Northeast Community Credit Union. So if you have any questions, visit bemycu.org or come in and see us at one of our convenient locations, or call 423-547-1200.
And you cut checks when? Next year? October, November? So when you get your checks?
Yes.
Save it up all year?
Yeah, so direct deposit could be your monthly paycheck.
Okay.
And so you can allocate a percentage of that paycheck into the Christmas Club. And that way, when you get to October, November, it's going to be built up. And so it's a great feature, and people love it.
The Christmas Club savings account for Christmas 2024?
Yes.
From Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Cyclone, just checked during the break. Cyclone softball is on, 5:15 airtime. 5:30 first pitch, audio only. The Cyclones in Tennessee I in the elimination game. You lose. She's all over but the crying. So you got to win and then turn right around and play Boone. And that second game, because we got double up because of the weather last night. So you look at college basketball. Tennessee went and got Juke Harris. Looks like they're going to pay around $4 million. Still have a hard time saying they're paying a college kid, but they are. It is what it is. The budget, we've been told, for the Tennessee men's basketball team between $15 and $18 million of the transfer portal. They're going out and buying themselves a championship for the final go-round. Or go rounds for Rick Barnes. So we just popped up in Aruba. There you go. We're on live in Aruba with Baker. She's down there on vacation. So we're in Aruba.
That'd be nice.
It is nice. She sent me a picture yesterday, poolside, with her screen, her phone screen, sitting by the pool, and the water's clear and blue for looks like 100 miles out. So we're in Aruba today. So hello. What do they speak in Aruba? Portuguese? I don't know what they speak. French?
No.
Well, I walked into that one. Boom. I have no clue what they speak in Aruba. But whatever they are, hello to Aruba from East Tennessee. So I'm swimming with flamingos. Send me a picture. I don't believe you.
That's pretty cool.
I want to see her swim. I want a picture of you swimming with flamingos. Baker, I don't believe that. I got to see that to believe it, because I just want to see it to believe it. She's swimming with flamingos in Aruba. So what do you think? Tennessee, I mean, everybody's doing it. Michigan did it. Everybody's doing it. You got the rich keep getting richer. So, and that's a given. But I want to ask you about the NCAA tournament going to 76 teams. They proposed it's going to happen. You for it or against it?
Well, I don't think that it should be 68 teams. I wish it's still 64, but, it's going to happen because, they get more of those large schools in there, and it's About one word, called money, I believe.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, so
it's all about money.
I mean, the teams that are seated at 75, 76 really don't have a realistic shot of winning, the NCAA tournament.
But some of the big names, Mark Few, John Calipari, Tom Izzo, Dan Hurley, have all said we're going to take away the beauty of this bracketing when the little guy still has a chance to beat the big guy. And I think their theory is NCAA, if we get more in there, we'll have more chance of the little guy beating the big guy. I don't necessarily see that, do you?
No, I think they've already ruined that. I mean, you've seen the last 2 years there have been very, very few upsets. I mean, I guess the one game that was quote-unquote considered an upset this year is High Point beating Wisconsin in the tournament. But if anyone's seen those YouTube videos on High Point and how much they've invested in their basketball program, that's not a shock at all that they would actually win, a game against Wisconsin there.
Baker says they speak Dutch in Aruba. You know any Dutch?
I do not.
I don't either. Only I know is Dutch boy paint. It's the only Dutch I know.
Yeah,
which
where
won't
those
help me in Aruba.
Wooden shoes, maybe.
Wooden shoes. Hans Brinker and the Silver Skates. Remember that?
Yeah, I know. Where I worked part-time with International Hot Rod Association, one of our grand prizes for the season champions was like an 8-day vacation to Aruba. So.
To Aruba?
Yeah, got to be a great place.
Yeah. So they speak Dutch in Aruba, so I don't even know how you say. We'll just say hello in Aruba. That's about as Arubian as I can get. So too many teams, NCAA. All right, college football. The American Football Coaches Association says we want to do away with the conference championships. We want to leave Army Navy as a special game in December, but let other playoff games play on that same day, which the president said, no, we want it to be standalone, nothing else to go up against it as far as viewership, competition. What's your take on those two?
Well, I mean, I can see why they want to do away with the conference championships. It just basically, if you're on the bubble and you're playing for a title, it basically hurts you. It knocks, one of your teams possibly out of the playoffs. Of course, the football playoffs are going to expand anyway, so that's probably, going to be a factor. I love Army-Navy. I think that's, to me, the greatest rivalry in college football. But, I mean, I think it'll happen where you'll have other games on that same day, actually.
Yeah. See, I said when Andrew's here, okay, the coaches want to be able to play that same playoff weekend. So we used an example. I said, give me a game. He said, Alabama, Oklahoma. I said, put that up against Army-Navy, and this is a playoff game, and Army-Navy's that great rivalry game, but still, from a viewership and importance, they're going to watch Alabama, Oklahoma. So I said, this is Tom thinking, trying to be ahead of the curve, put the Army-Navy game on a Thursday night. You're not up against high school football, basketball, or baseball for the most part. You have your standalone night, could be Army-Navy night on Thursday, and the whole country can watch it because there won't be anything else to watch.
Yeah, that's, to me, a great idea, other than it'll probably be up against NFL if it's on a Thursday.
So, yeah. So Baker says she sent a picture of her swimming with the flamingos. Let's see. I want to see this. I will believe it when I see it. By golly, there she is.
There she is with flamingos.
Yeah,
Looks like she's having a good time for sure.
Put it up here where you can see her with the flamingos. I stand corrected. She's in the pool or in the water with flamingos.
She's even got her pink on, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she got a pink on and her little white hat. And swimming, well, she's not swimming with them, but she's in the water. But we'll say it. She's swimming with the flamingos. There you go. So Baker's in Aruba speaking Dutch, swimming with flamingos, and you and I are sitting there banging it out in Johnson City at Chick-fil-A. So you're going where now? You're going to Unicoi County tonight?
Unicoi County tonight.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night, I don't know where I'm going for the games, and then I'm going to the Concrete Jungle later tomorrow night.
Yep, Kingsport Speedway, going to the Concrete Jungle. So in closing here, we're really in a busy time because we're transitioning. High school sports are winding down. Tomorrow night, we got 15 Friday nights till high school football starts, which is hard to believe. 105 days as of tomorrow night. So you got that. You got baseball gearing up. You got the National Hockey League gearing up. You got the NBA, not gearing up, they're playing. Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs. You've got college baseball. We're going to really start focusing on that next week on the show here. So it's really a busy time. It's a busy time for you guys in the paper, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and ETSU's softball team plays here at 1 o'clock in an elimination game down in the Southern Conference tournament. Plus, there's all the stuff with the transfer portal and all that going on with constantly anymore. So I've got an update coming up in the weekend paper on the ETSU women's basketball, which Coach Brendan Mock Brown did a fantastic job of retaining 8 players. That's pretty much unheard of nowadays. Usually if a coach gets more than 5, that's considered very, very successful.
Milligan's baseball team got an at-large bid to go to the NAIA World Series in Florida. They've had a banner year of Milligan baseball, so congratulations to the Buffs. They're going down that way. So in closing, July 1st, everything changes. In the world of high school athletics as we know it in Tennessee, the TSSAA, with a strong urging, because they put it in law from Governor Lee, the transfer rule starts July 1st of this year. 1 transfer move as a middle school student, 1 transfer move as a high school student. You have from July 1st to the first day of school at the school you're going to announce that you're transferring. And I've already heard and seen, this player's went over here, this player's already moved here, this one went to this school, this one's left this school, moving around already for transfer. It kicks in officially July 1st. What's your take on it as a sports writer trying to cover everything and just as a football fan?
Well, I think it's a mess, just to be honest with you. But, we've seen recent years, I won't the kid's name, but, you had an example last year, middle of the season. You had a guy who was one of Elizabeth and Stopp's players, ended up at Greenville, right in the middle of the season. Had one of the best basketball players we've had in the area. I think she went to 3 or 4 different schools, So, it's – and I'm afraid what will happen, same things happen with the NCAA when, the parents and kids don't get the rules, then they'll go and sue, the TSSAA, just like they have with the NCAA.
I think you're right. So, and you got the guy from Texas Tech got caught gambling, but he's in a gambling rehab right now, trying to get fixed to break his habit. But he's also retained an attorney. He wants to play college football. Texas Tech said, we got $5 million on the table. You be our quarterback. And so he's got him an attorney saying we want to retain our eligibility for the NCAA when it clearly says you bet on the games, and he did. In 2022, he was a member of the Indiana football team, and he bet on the Indiana games. And now he's got him an attorney. He said, no, you can't stop me from trying to make a living. I got $5 million waiting on me to quarterback Texas Tech. So now that's hanging in the balance. Which way do you think that's going to go?
I would say somehow they'll finagle it where he'll end up playing, again and all. And that $5 million to play college football, I don't know, it's just sickening in a way. And I'm a sports guy, but, these college kids making more money in 1 year than we're going to make in our lifetime. That's unreal.
Yep.
1 year. I'm not talking even 4 years playing sports. I'm talking 1 year.
1 year, $5 million to throw a football around for 12 weeks or 14 weeks, whatever the case may be. So here's what I'm going to say on May the 6th? Is that right? Today, May 6th, 2026? All right. Here's what I'm going to tell you. This is Tom Taylor talking. If they let this guy go back and play after what he has done, he's admitted he's done it. He's gambled on the games on the team. When he was on the team, he gambled against Indiana's games. So when he was a reserve, Tommy didn't play. He gambled on the games. The rule says you can't gamble on teams and sports in college, let alone the one you play for. If they let him back, they let him play. If the attorney wins, I will go on record and say the integrity, what little is left for college sports, will go completely out the window. It'll be a farce and a joke. College sports is almost at that point now. That's why I love doing high school. But so
well,
it's
even
hanging in the balance.
Even in the pros, there's people support Pete Rose, but Baseball Hall of Fame is still not let Pete Rose in, for gambling all these years later.
So, and depends on how good this attorney is. He has been the attorney when the antitrust lawsuit. He was one of the lead attorneys. So the guy's good at what he does. Can't remember his name, doesn't matter. But I'm just saying this quarterback, Sorsby from the Texas Tech Red Raiders, if he gets his eligibility retained after what he has done, for me, old Tom, the college sports, to me, the integrity's gone. It's kind of hanging in the balance by the hair of a chin now for me.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that. And like you said, we're starting to see some things seep on down into a high school level, which is not right either.
No, but it is what it is. You have 2 choices. You can do it, cover it, or not do it. Go do something else. Right now, I'm going to keep doing it. I love high school sports. Evan Carter, 2-run shot last night off the front decking up on the second deck on the deck facing of Yankee Stadium. Is that not cool?
That is really cool. And, of course, Evan had his first inside the park home run, I think, about a week or two ago. So, I mean, just a fantastic player and even better young man, you know.
He's one of us.
Yeah, I went to high school with his mom, you know, so just a fantastic family there.
I mean, I always get, like goofy when I start talking about this, but he's sitting right here in this chair, as humble a guy as you'd ever want to meet. He's a starting center fielder for the Texas Rangers from Little Elizabeth in town of 14,000. And now he's, he hit a home run in Yankee Stadium. He led the majors in doubles 2 years ago in postseason, as a rookie. He's one of us, which tells me, as I've said before, and it's true, gives us hope for everybody else. You look at Abreu Franklin, Science Hill played pro ball. Daniel Kilgore, Dobbins Bennett played for the 49ers and the Dolphins. Of course, Evan Carter, Jason Witten, Sean Witten played for Virginia Tech. Bryson Rollins going overseas and play in Finland. Parker Hughes got drafted 7th round with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Landon Knack, Science Hill, pitched in the World Series last year, 2 years ago with the Dodgers. These are our people, folks.
Hunter Stratton's played at Sullivan East. He's with the Braves organization.
Forgot about him.
Gavin Cross, who played up at Tennessee High. He's AAA. I think he'll probably make it to the majors this year as well.
Hope so. Mike McClung, Gate City, NBA back-to-back slam dunk champion. Should be playing the NBA. Why is he not playing somewhere? Tell me that.
I don't understand that,
I don't
honestly.
either.
I mean, I know they, all these professional leagues, a guy's got to be a certain height. Like they've talked about Mac doesn't have the wingspan, but be like a great defender or whatever. He's done pretty well. I mean, he's been MVP of the G League and also, exciting player. I don't understand the team like the Charlotte Hornets, them being a relatively local team. Why would you not pick him up to sell tickets if nothing else,
Exactly. Put fannies in the seats. Well, the knock on him, some players already can't play defense. I'm thinking, have you watched an NBA game lately? There ain't no defense. It's street ball. Just who gets the ball shoots it. I mean, there's a few plays being run. Ain't many. So I don't think the lack of defense is a very good knock for this kid. Mike McClung from Gate City deserves to be in the NBA. But anyway,
I think he can play defense. Honestly, I think, he's proven himself as far as just an all-around great player. Like I said, he's been the MVP of that league. He's been a champion in that league. So, and that's supposed to be your number 2 league. It'd be like AAA baseball.
Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway, my point to all this is these kids were sitting right here where we are, and they had a dream and didn't let anybody steal the dream. And here they are playing in the bigs. I don't know if do we have any ladies that are playing? I know we talked to guys, female athletes that are playing in college, major college sport. And Courtney Whitson played at Middle Tennessee State, where she's now the coach of DB. There's probably some out there.
And some others. I'm trying to think of the girl who played at Science Hill. Now she's back at Gardner Webb coaching. Played at Gardner Webb in Memphis. Alasia Smith. I'm sorry, I was taking me a minute to, remember Alasia's name there.
She's coached, follow her mama as a coach, Leah.
Yeah, sure is.
Leah Smith, coach of Science Hill. All right, are you hungry? What are you going to get?
Usually I think they want us to get the number 1, which is good. I like it.
Happy Mama's Day to your mama.
Yeah.
She's come through some surgery. She's doing okay now?
Doing well.
Good. Back making cornbread?
She said she's wanting to make a pan here pretty soon.
You know what I'd love to? Can she make banana pudding?
Oh, she can make real good banana pudding.
Oh, may I pander for some banana pudding from your mama? Just a little tiny smidgen. She can make you a big old bowl because you're her boy. If I can just get, I'm not beggars won't be just enough, about that much right there with a little spoon, a little dab of banana pudding. Mama Birchfield's banana pudding.
Yeah, and she used to make me a Watergate salad sometimes. I always liked that
as
well.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I like Watergate, but I'm a sweet tooth. Banana. Mama Mia, Mama Birchfield, she's watching. Banana pudding be nice.
You know why me and you like bananas so much? Because we're always monkeying around.
That's so tacky. On that note, that's good. I love you, man. I love this guy. He's so good. Brings a lot to the show. We'll take a break. We're always monkeying around. We'll take a break. We'll wrap it up right after this from one of our sponsors, the good folks at Brummett Sports Shop in downtown Betsy. Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, NASCAR beat writer, John City Press, Kingsport Times News. He's a dandy, and I'm lucky to have him on my show every week. Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabeth with your favorite school's T-shirts, polos, or hoodies. They can put your school, church, or company's logo on lots of different styles of hats, including Nike and Richardson and now Travis Matthew. Windbreakers, sublimated shirts, pullovers, koozies. They can order for any area school and your favorite team. Dry fit sleeveless hoodies, Nike dry fit T-shirts, women's and toddler sizes. You can order any uniform for any sport, including the pants or shorts from Brumman Sports Shop. And they always have a clearance rack to save you money. Plaques, trophies, medals, and ribbons, and all the engraving is done in-house. And they offer hard-to-find Letterman jackets of your favorite school for guys, ladies, and now elementary and middle school athletes too. And they offer all the different sports patches as well. Brumman Sports Shop, downtown Elizabeth, and Facebook, Instagram, website, BrummanSportsShop.com, phone 542-2321, Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton.
We're proud to help our region move forward and help reopen every business we can.
Back in about 4 hours, do it all over again. We'll bring you, again, Lady Cyclone softball to look like this. Audio only. Boom. Be right there, but we'll bring it to you. Against the Tennessee Vikings, winner moves on. Losers season is over, so it'll be a big ball game. A lot of pressure. Every pitch, every swing, every strike's going to be big because it's somebody's season hanging in the balance. Thanks again for our buddies Andrew Smith from Sports Writer Johnson City Press. Just now, Jeff Birchfield, Sports Writer Johnson City Press. Tomorrow, we'll kick off the weekend. There's Mrs. Birchfield watching. I have pandered for some of your world-famous banana pudding. There you go. Jeff said you can make great banana pudding, so if you feel so inclined to make me just a little dab, that'd be great. All right, here's the verse today. I love this. Matthew 12:24 and 25. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. How much more valuable you are than birds. That's verse 24. Verse 25 of Matthew chapter 12 says, who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life? Is that not true? We can worry and get fuzzed up, and as our pastor said a couple of weeks ago in one of his sermons, and he's right, most of the time we get worried and fuzzed up about stuff that never really ever happens. It's what could happen. And we wring our hands, and I get it. We're to be concerned, but not worry. In fact, my mom used to say worry is a sin. So you worry about things, and you get so wound up. And when it comes right down to it, ain't a thing you do about it anyway. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. So does worrying add one single moment to your life? No, it does not. So good way to end it. Thanks. Matthew 12:24 and 25. Read that one more time. Up Bears. In fact, I sent it out there. I've had several people say, thank you, I need to read this verse today. Because we're in a society, we worry, and I get that to a point, but there's a difference between being worrying and being concerned. So gas prices are going up. Anything I can do, there's not a thing I can do about that. We may attack the Iranians. They may attack us in the Middle East. Can you control anything I can do about it? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life? And so I have learned in my life, as time marches on here, I got more behind me than I do in front of me as far as time, and I know that. But I have spent more time just going, Lord, it's yours. There it is. Whether it's professional, personal, whatever the case may be, it's yours. You're going to handle it because it's going to be how he wants it to be. He's running the show. It took me a long time to figure it out. I'm not running the show. He's running the show, personally and professionally. So can you add a single minute? Should have read it again. What was it? Can you add a single hour to your life of worrying? You cannot. Good way to end it. Matthew 12:24 and 25. Back with you at 5:15. Audio only will bring it to you. The Lady Cyclones and the Lady Vikings of Tennessee High should be a dandy. As we said, it's in somebody's season hanging in the balance. The winner will move on. The loser's season is over. It's going to be, as I said earlier, as Barney told Andy on one of the episodes, it's going to be big, 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 big. and it is. Thanks for watching the show. Back tomorrow. We'll be at Food City 11 o'clock. And tomorrow will be wall-to-wall. We'll be talking a lot of sports. Hello? But we're going to be talking a lot about Mother's Day. Mother's Day weekend coming up. And your one-stop shop for Mother's Day will be Food City. Mylar balloons and cookies and flowers and plants. We're going to have all that for you tomorrow. We'll be at Food City again with some more guests tomorrow from Food City and Gray with Rob and the boys. Looking forward to it. Camille's going to be there, our flower girl, giving you ideas for Mom for Mother's Day. It is they told us in the floral department, it is the second, should I get this right, the second biggest flower day of the year. Obviously would be Valentine's Day. The second biggest flower day for Food City Floral Department is Mother's Day weekend. Hanging baskets, you wait till you see those, the ones they got at Food City. You're talking about good. Anyway, we'll be there tomorrow. Back at 5:15 for Cyclone Softball. Again, thanks to Chris Berry and the folks yesterday. Had a great time streaming. We missed yesterday's show. We parked it to stream the Honors Day at T.A. Duggar Middle School, T.A. Duggar Junior High. And so now we've been asking, I think we're going to do the same for the high school. Honors Day on the 20th. We're also going to stream graduation on the 22nd from the football stadium. So Wednesday the 20th we'll do Honors Day, and the 22nd we'll do graduation at Elizabethton High. So it's all about the kids. So there you go. All right, see you back here at 5:15. Lady Cyclone Softball will close, as we always say, by simply telling you, bloom where you're planted every morning. Go down to catch school bus. Mama tell us, boys, bloom where you're planted. Make a difference. Bloom where you're planted. My father used to say, the United States Marine Semper Fi, you always say, every day's a resume. Every day's your resume. What happened yesterday don't count. Today's a new day. Every day's your resume. Make a difference every day. She'd say, bloom where you're planted. And I would say, win or lose, be a good sport. Win or lose, be a good sport. Let me preach to you one more time. You think sports is important? Go to any ICU at any hospital and go up and down the hall and ask them about Josh Heupel, the Atlanta Braves, pick whatever sport. They're going to go, we're working on blood counts, enzymes, PET scans, radiation, chemo, whatever. Trying to stay alive, and sports takes a real big back seat. Once spoken, win a life of sports. See you back at 5:15 for Cyclone Softball. Until then, we say, as always, bloom where you're planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 2492 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show at Chick-fil-A, People Street, and